Stephen A. Williams with Making Money with Stephen A. Williams here on YouTube. And in today's video, we're going to talk about get the F out of your own way so you can bring success, money, prosperity, fame, fortune, whatever you want into your life. I'm about to give you the secret to being able to do that. Get your pens and paper out. This video will tell you how to find out what's missing and what's messing up your life. Because you can get the F out of your own way. If you can get the F out of your own way, you will be successful. Because all of the stuff that's in your way is nothing but mental garbage. And I'm going to show you how to take that garbage out and dump it, or to put that garbage somewhere so you could be like, it's okay, you can go back and get it if you ever need to get it. Now, let me kind of give you something to think about, because so you won't be afraid of allowing change to come into your life. Because what I'm going to tell you in this video, you're going to have to do some stuff with some thoughts that are in your mind. And whenever someone tries to tell you to change your mind, a big wall, a big firewall, like on the computers, it's like you don't want to let it in. It is not that you don't want to change. It's just that deep down subconsciously, all of the stuff that you're used to doing makes you feel comfortable, even if it didn't benefit you. That's the thing. Even stuff that does not benefit you in your life, that is part of you right now. And you don't want anyone to take that away from you without you either putting it aside or giving it away or getting rid of it. But here's the crazy part about it, is that even though consciously you want to make a change and get rid of something, subconsciously it's played like a record, and you've told yourself, once you told yourself, or the way that you grew up, or your parents or people who you love, that you took in that information and it went into you subconsciously, it plays like a record. And it's very difficult to get that stuff out. So what we're going to do is, in this video, we're going to identify it. We're going to identify it, show you what it is, and I'm going to tell you what you could do with it. You just put that stuff aside. So when I say put it aside, this is what I mean. Do you have anything in your house that you don't even deal with? Like, you've seen those hoarding TV shows where they got piles of stuff, and stuff is at the bottom and you can't even get to it, but they know it's there. So in their mind, they know it's there. They don't want no one to touch it. If they do something with it, they do something with it, but they know where it's at. With stuff that is holding you back, some of the times people cannot let that go too far from them. But you can let it go to allow you to be able to do something and make changes in your life. So when I say get rid of stuff, this is what you can imagine doing it. Because I know that it can be very difficult. As you can just imagine putting that feeling, that thought, whatever that is, into that box, and just putting it into a room, like pretend like you're putting it into a room that's behind you. And you can close the door and you can lock it, and you can even imagine that only you have the key. And what that will do is that'll allow you to have clear mind, a cleared mind, to be able to move forward, to make changes in your life without the fear of that old stuff that you need, that you feel right now completes you. Because good things are part of us and bad things are part of us. And some of the times we think we need those things, and it's not that we necessarily need them, it's just that it's a part of us. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you permission to put those things, those thoughts, those negative feelings, those negative emotions, the things that could be holding you back, you put them into a box. And we're about to go through ways to identify those things. You put them in a box, safe, secure, put it behind you, put it into a room behind you. You can envision that. Just envision a box, a door, it go into a room, you open it, put the box in, close it, lock it, and you have the key, you can put it in your pocket. That's how you're going to need to envision that. And you will know that once you put it in that room, you allow yourself to have a clear and free mind to learn or to become aware. Because we don't want to put too much too fast. To become aware of some new things that you can start moving forward, so you can start moving forward towards success in your life. So the first thing, this is where you are right now. This is where you are right now. You're starting here. This is where you want to be. These are your goals. Now, the money, success, fame, comfort, etc. Whatever your goals are, you write them down. You write down your goals. Don't let anyone tell you what your goals are. I just know from experience that most people want more money. Most people want to have some form of success in their life, either personal level or outward success that people see them as successful. And some people want fame. They want people to like love them and talk about them all the time. And then most people, all people want comfort. Like regardless of how much money you make, what you're doing, everyone wants to be comfortable in their life. At least I know I want to be, and I'm pretty sure you want to be. So now what this represents is where you are now, where you want to be, and what this represents is what you have to do to get there. What this box here with this line through it represents what you have to do to get there. Now, if you magnify this box, imagine a magnifying glass. You ever look in a magnifying glass, you're like, oh, I didn't know that was there. Like you get to see things that you can't see regular. This is how the magnifying glass works in the human mind. Everything that you see right here to get to here is a filter. There's a filter, if you can imagine a filter. So that filter is everything that you've experienced in your life and how you relate to what you are trying to do. So if we were to magnify this, it would look like this. So if we were to magnify this, this is what you would see. You would see these little peaks. And what those peaks would represent are obstacles. So these would be obstacles that stop you, that you believe in your own mind, that will either stop you or make it harder for you to get over here. These obstacles. Now, if we were to magnify the obstacles, what would you see? You would see, by magnifying obstacles, you would see these two problems. You would see mind set and skill set. You wouldn't see the words, but you would see a representation of the words. So now if we were to magnify mindset, skill set, what would this be? What would the feeling be that you would have inside? The feelings would be, and I got my notes here, is you would have a feeling of no money. Like I can't get here to make more money because I don't have enough money or I don't have any money. I talked to a gentleman yesterday who is trying to expand his online Bible college. He's trying to sell online Bible college franchises to pastors and church leaders. But he cannot do anything, or he believes he can't do anything because he says he doesn't have the money to do it. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to give you an example of what I did when I had no money, on how I ended up creating money. I'm going to tell you how to do it. So you're going to want to stay tuned to this video. You're going to want to stay tuned to this video. So it would look like no money, or you don't know what to do, or you don't know who to trust. Or maybe your parents didn't have money and they didn't teach you about business or money. No one in your family has ever been in business, so you don't even know who to trust to even ask. Like, all of these things could come up. Or maybe you live in a bad environment. where you lived at, no one had businesses. Everybody was renters, and no one, it was just, you didn't even have the right learning environment to be able to do things. All of that is going to be in there. It's going to be mindset and skill set. It's all going to be there. It's all going to be there. And you know that you're going to have some other things that you can think of. I just gave you a few of them, but you need to write down whatever that is, because this is the stuff that you're going to put in that box. All of this stuff that I'm telling you. So we can go back through it. We got our obstacles, and then we're going to magnify those obstacles, and we're going to start to see that the skill set and mindset and skill set. But when you magnify mindset and skill set, all of these different things come about, and you need to write down all of those things that you believe are holding you back. And some of them are going to be skill sets, some are going to be mindset. And then if we were to magnify all of those things, we magnify everything, all of the stuff that's in this mindset skill set, is going to come down to one thing for everybody. For everybody, it's going to come down to one thing. And don't worry, I'm going to prove it to you, because when I tell you what I did when I had no money, me and my wife, what we did when we had no money to start a business that made us millions of dollars. But if we stayed in this frame of mind, we would have never experienced it. I wouldn't even be here making this video with you if I would have not put that stuff in a box to the side and did what needed to be done. So now, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but what I say to you is what I say to myself. I'm not one of these YouTube content people that's just making videos and to try to get some views and to try to get people amped up, hyped up, and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you like it is. And this is what I say to myself when there's things that I need to accomplish or things that I need to get done. Is that all of this, if you want to sum it all up so you can just like let go of the ball and chain that is holding you back, is that you don't think you deserve it. The bottom line of everything that's in that box that you just put in that box, the bottom line is if you don't go for this, you don't believe you deserve it. You don't believe you deserve it. So now, just so you know and understand that I'm not up here BSing you, I'm going to tell you what I did when I had no money. And the goal was to make more money. The goal was to make more money, success, take better life for my family. But I had no money. So I don't even need my notes on here, but I just wanted to make sure it's in order, because this was the beginning of my business career. My first successful business. I had tried other things when I was younger, but it was not successful. So this is my true testimonial. At the age of 21, my wife and I started our first company. The first successful company, because we had tried some other stuff. So she was 20, I'm 21 years old. I'm right out of the United States Army. The best job that I was able to get was a security guard job at a local college, third shift, from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, making $364.84 every 2 weeks. $364.84 every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. If you remember back in 1991, no cell phones, no internet. Computers were $2,500 to $3,000. To start the business that my wife and I wanted to start, which was in the advertising business, we were going to go store to store, get small businesses to advertise in our free publication. because software and computers became available, and there was an explosion of free publications because small business owners couldn't advertise in the daily paper because it was too expensive. So when software and computers, all of that met right around 1990, 89, 90, 91, we were like, this is a huge opportunity. Maybe we could get into it and do it. Now, we didn't know anything about publishing and that stuff, and business, advertising, nothing with that. So we saved up $500. And I can tell you part of the way that we got the $500 was delivering phone books to people's doorsteps. I remember our car, we had this Nissan truck full of phone books, and we're going and delivering them, doing everything that we could do, plus saving money. My wife was working at a factory, I was working, but we had to pay the rent. We had 2 children at the time. So we had to do all of this, but we put it to the side because the goal, we deserved it. When I look back, deep down inside, we put everything aside and said we deserve it. So we didn't have enough money for the computer, so we put the computer on layaway. And the name of the business is Computer Adventure. The owner is Eric. He could say what I'm telling you, he would verify it as 100% true. He owns a small computer store, and he still owns it to this day. And he would let us come in and he would teach us how to use that computer. And I think that because he saw and believed that what we wanted to do, and yes, he was benefiting by getting the sale on the computer, and we ended up buying other computers from him after that. But he believed because what we were doing. That's a lesson. When you start to put your mind towards your goal, people are going to come to you, and they're going to see it within you, and they're going to offer to help you in certain ways that you wouldn't even believe it. He would let us come into his computer store and work on the computer and practice on the computer and tell us how to use the computer. So the next thing is that we didn't have enough money to do the printing. So we were printing a publication, but we didn't have the money to print the publication. So again, roadblock, like I just said here, or obstacle. We don't have the money to even make a sample, because people were telling us, well, let us see a sample and then we might advertise with you. We didn't have the money to make a sample. We didn't even have the money to make the publication. So we didn't have the money for a sample. We didn't have the money for a publication. We were paying on the computer that was on layaway. We didn't even have everything that we needed to make the business. Plus, we were not experienced. We did not go to school for graphic design. We didn't know how to use the software. None of that stuff. Keep following me on this. So, how did we get over the obstacle of not having an example to show people? This is how we got over it. We drew it on one of those yellow notepads. We said, this is how the publication is going to look. Yes, you're already laughing. Other business owners laughed at us. But enough business owners said, I'll give it a try. But what I'll do is I'll pay you after you produce the publication. And we were like, okay, we got that. They're gonna advertise, but they're gonna pay us after we produce the publication. So now the next roadblock, the next obstacle or roadblock, the printer said you gotta always pay in advance before you pick up the publication. So it was like, oh boy. So now we have another problem. We have to pay before they even print it. So what we did is we talked to them. And just like I said, people will do things for you if they see that you are serious about what you're doing. Because in a sense, if you come through and you do what you say you're going to do, those companies are going to benefit. Some of them can benefit for a lifetime. And so the company said, okay, you can print it, and then what you have to do is you have to pay for that publication before you print your next publication. So in essence, they would give us like a 2-week credit because we were printing every other week back then. So we could get the advertisers, print the put together the publication, print it, go out, get the money for it. Before we print it, pay the print shop that was printing the publication, and then also turn in a new one. So it was like boom, boom, boom. Let me tell you, by 1994, we were making over $100,000 a year by 1994. So you're talking about some 20-something-year-olds. I'm like 24 years old at that time, or 23, 24, whatever, making $100,000 a year. Now, what if I would have let those obstacles, no money, no skill set, what if I would have let all of that stuff be in the forefront? But what I did, what me and my wife did, we both take credit for this, is we put that stuff aside and we said we deserve to have this. Now, it gets better. That business ended up making us multi-millions of dollars over the years. Me and my family and our kids lived a life that we couldn't have even thought about. Like, we were thinking like $6,000 a month was the world back then. And we ended up making millions of dollars. And from making that money, we ended up buying and starting up other companies to make more millions. This is the way that this stuff works. So, and let's talk about the payoffs for the companies that trusted us. Eric, before the computer boom went out to where computers got cheaper, Best Buy and all of these different companies started popping up, we had probably bought about 4 computers from him, at least 4 computers before, we had actually moved out of the city. But before that, he had benefited by at least 4 computers. And then the print shop that took a chance on us made millions of dollars. There were weeks when we first started, the print bill was about $400 to $600 per print. For years after we got the ball rolling, the print bill that we were paying was from about $4,500 to $5,500 per week. Just think if they wouldn't have had given us the chance and entrusted us. But it's not really about them giving us the chance. It's about us demonstrating by what we believe, how we believe in ourselves. And if you get rid of this stuff and you really truly down deep believe that you deserve, other people will believe that you deserve it, because they will see it in your face, they will see it in your words, they will see it in your actions. They will see it in your actions. So what I want to offer to you is, some of you need, now I focus on business consulting. But I think some of you could benefit from having sessions, audio tapes potentially put together where you can listen to it at night when you're sleeping to help root out this feeling. Because this is all of this right here with the skill set, mindset, is feeling. You've probably tried to start businesses, or you started a business and it's just not working, it's not successful. It's because you're unconsciously doing the same thing. You think it's different, you want something different, but you're unconsciously doing the same thing. So if we magnify what are those unconscious things that you're doing the same thing, that's what we wrote down right here. You're reliving that over and over and over again, even if it has nothing to do with it. You're from that filter, even if it has nothing to do with what you're doing, anything that has to do with money, with getting yourself into the position to make more money, it's going to run through that same filter. Whatever those things you wrote down. Parents didn't come from money. People told me I was not worth anything. I don't think that I'm worth anything. whatever that filter is, it doesn't matter. It could be something that's totally different, but the internal feelings, the internal filter is going to play the same record, and it's going to give you that same feeling. Remember earlier I said that even if something if something is not good for you, even if something is not good for you, because it's deeply rooted in your subconscious and you're going to keep playing that record over and over, you're going to experience it using that record. So you can say, I'm trying to make more money, but when you put the needle on the record, it's going to play the record of how you believe you can or cannot make more money. That's the record. So the opportunity is opportunity, but there's a record playing in your mind saying that I can't do it, or I can do it, but I need to have this, I need to have that, and you don't have that. Let me close it out with this. Let me close it out with this. Some people believe in God, some people are spiritual. It doesn't matter. But to prove my point, there are people who were rotten bad on the outside, doing all these nasty things, all this stuff, and they go into a church and they get baptized or born again, and it's like everything is wiped away. How can they do that? Someone who is spiritual, they say, I'm on a spiritual retreat. I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff and be a new person. How can they do that? How can either one of those do that if you and it not be possible for you to do it this way? It's the same thing. The only difference is that God is put into you for the fear. So if you do it, you better keep doing it. That's what's put there. I don't care if anyone gets mad at me. That's the fear of God is what they're hoping will make you stay straight after you come there, get baptized or born again, whatever. For any religion. I'm not just picking on one religion. For any religion. That's how they try to keep you in line. For spiritual, universal, in a sense, the same thing. Scare you to say, well, you don't love yourself and all of these different things. So they try to keep you in line that way. And I'm not saying whatever, if it works, it works. If it works for you, it works for you. But it ultimately, because they give you an out. They say, well, you can forgive yourself on this side, you forgive yourself on that side. But if you think about it, whatever you do after you decide to make those changes and you don't do it and don't follow through on it, it's all going to circle back to you don't believe you deserve it. So try going through the next days, changing one thing in your life, going for your business, and have the mindset saying, I deserve it. Whatever you put into action, and if it doesn't work, you say, I still deserve it, and I'm going to make some tweaks, and I'm going to keep doing it. Because a lot of you can't even get off the ground. I just went through my story here on how I had, that was work to get off the ground. That was work. You try walking into a place, number one, working from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, getting a couple of hours sleep, and then go walk into those places. Because there was no cell phones. We had to go store to store. So think about that. I didn't even mention that one as an obstacle at the beginning. Think about that. But I said to myself, I deserve it. And whatever you believe you deserve, you are going to get. Thank you for your time. Please post your questions and comments. If you need help with something, put it in the comments. I'll follow up with you. If I can help you, I'm going to tell you I can help you. and I'm going to give you different options. Most of them are just going to be free advice. Most of the stuff I'm going to give you is just free advice like I do in these videos. You can take this and change your life. What I just did in this video will change your life. So post your question and comment. Subscribe to the channel. Don't just watch. Show me some appreciation and subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams with Making Money with Stephen A. Williams here on YouTube. Get the F out of your own way.